In this video, we're going to continue our review on SQL Assignment 2. So we're going to start with question 3. This question is very simple. We're going to say how many products have a unit price between 15 and 30. So if we still follow the procedure, we need the table. What table? Products. And inside that table, we need the unit price as the data fields. And between 15 and 30 is the data value we want to use to limit the data. So basically, we can do it together. So we're going to select anything from the product table, and then where the unit price, which is the data fields, and we're going to say we'll do some limitation between 15 and 30, and that's it. That's basically the results. Of course, here we're asking how many products, so there's two ways to answer. First, you can just copy the whole thing, the 29. But if we have a big data set, say if we have thousands of millions of data sets, this query may return thousands of data results. So it's not very good for us just to simply copy all the data into the worksheet. So we just maybe put it this way. It's easier because the question is just asking how many products. So we just give, say, here is the number of products, right? So that will give us the exact number. So we just copy this one to the worksheet here and say it's the statement. And then we go back to and copy this data, okay? So that's basically the results we want to have for this question. Of course, change the data format. Then we're going to question 4. List the top 5 employees' name and the number of order processed. That processed the most order. Basically, what we need from this question, sorry, we want list the top 5 employees and how we can measure who is on top or who is not based on the order they processed. And we also want to display the number of orders they processed for each employee's name. So here, follow the same procedure. We need list the employee's name, of course. Employee's name, we have the first name, last name, the data attributes from the employee table, and the number of orders processed. In order to calculate the number of orders processed by each employee, we need the information from the order table, because inside the order table, we got an employee ID and an order ID, so we can count, right? So basically here, we can say we need 2 tables, employee tables and the order tables. And then we need the employee's first name, last name, and we need the order ID. That's about it, right? We'll have employee ID as well. So we can just do it using our interface here. So first, we just join them together, the employee as A, inner join with order tables as B on A the employee ID equal to B the employee ID. So test the join. So sounds about right. So I say once we have this join, we can treat it as a single big table. But of course, we do not have to do it every time because we know this is a table joined. So we do not care about the individual table anymore. Once we have join table, we have access to all the fields come from 2 join table. So after we have this one, what a question again? So the question is asking us to check the number of order processed by each employee. So basically, we want to first group by employee. So we want to group by employee's name. So we say first name, for example. Then we're going to say number of order processed by that employee first name as a number of orders. Right? Then we're going to say we're going to use a group by first name. So basically here you will say we got all the employees' first name along with the number of orders they processed. Of course, then we're going to say order by this number of orders. So in this case, we use a descending, so we say the employee who processed the most order will be shown on the top. So you can see here 40, 30, 31, 29. So basically we have the correct order of this information. But then we're going to ask, is it okay for us just to use the first name to group the number of orders? Because it's possible that there's multiple people who share the first name, which is a very common case, right? So we'd better just add one more column, say last name as well. So we put the last name here. So basically we're going to put like a full employee name. Normally we are saying like a full employee name here. So right now we got the full employee name and the number of orders they processed. But still we ask us again, is the full employee name, I mean the first name, last name, enough for us for this question? So of course it's not, because if we have a big company or big business, it's very possible that there are two person or more than two person who share exactly the same first name and same last name. So we'd better by Siri put the employee ID here. So that will be rule out all the possibility, because we know the employee ID is unique. So even there are two persons with the same first name and same last name, we know they will be separated by the employee ID, right? So of course, there's ambiguous column name because we have joined these two tables together. So we have to make sure we use the ADA employee ID. Doesn't matter, but we just tell the system which table we are going to use. So right now we're good. So right now we have all the employee ID, first name, last name. So we uniquely identify every person here. If they have the exact same first name, last name, they will be separated by different employee ID, right? So that's basically by Siri is a good result for this question. And finally, we do not want to display all information. We only want to display the top 5 employees. So we just use this limit phrase, limit top 5. So basically that's it. So we cannot use a hard-coded value. We say having, like this way, we go from here, having number of order is greater or equal to 20. That will also give us 5 numbers here. So if we do not have this one, for example, we got many of them, but we have this one, we got 5 of them. But this is not correct. We cannot hard code a value into the query statement because this value is not provided by the question. This value is just the internal value you get from your own calculation. If the underlying data set is changed, this value, these numbers will be changed as well. So you will need a new number. So which is not the correct way to answer the question. So you will have to use the limit phrase. So in this case, no matter whatever data has been changed underlying, so we still get the top 5 employees based on the number of orders they processed. Then of course we need to copy the statement. We just finished back to the worksheet here and the results here. Back to the worksheet here and remove the format. And then we can work on the next one. So question 5. How many products are supplied by UK and with a price higher than 20? So we are going to use it both ways. First, no matter which way you're using, you're going to identify the data you need to answer this question from 3 levels. Data tables levels, data attributes, and data values. Data table, let's read the question again. How many products? So basically the product will be the table, right? And supplied, so basically we need some information from the supplier, right? And by UK is a value. Basically we know there's a country data attributes inside the supplier table. So we are going to know that we're going to filter the country, the supplier's country information by using the UK. And the price we know price is the attribute of inside of the product table. So we're going to filter the price by using the value 20. So that's you can see here. Only if we are very familiar with the table structure, I mean the data sets, what are tables there, what are data fields inside each table, how those tables are connected together. Otherwise, we cannot answer this question very easily, right? We have to understand, have to master data, okay? Then we read through this question, those tables name, those tables data, this data attributes, this values will be automatically pop up in our mind. So we know, okay, this is table's name, these are data attributes, and this is data value. Okay, so let's do it together. So we're going to find out the product, say, so first if we use the inner join, we're going to use the two tables which are product A, inner join with supplier, table B, on what? On A the supplier ID equal to B the supplier ID. So let's test the join. That sounds right. So in this case, we got product information, we got supplier information. So once we have this one, we can treat this as a single big table T, contain all the attributes from the both tables. Of course, we just don't have to do this every time. Then we'll have limitations. We just filter the data by first country, supplier's country information, which are equal to UK, and the price information from the product table between, actually I think it's greater than 20, right? It's greater than 20. So like this. So we got just one record. And that's basically, that's the product we found to meet the condition required by the question. This is the inner join way to do the question. So we just copy here, and then this is inner join, we copy these results here. And of course, they're asking how many. You can give it just the number 1, or you can put this one record, I say in class as well. Whenever you are being asking, provided the number how many. If there are just a few of them, so 10 of them, so it's okay to put the whole output for each record. But if there's thousands of them, you may just want to give it a number, right? So then we use a subquery. Subquery, same thing. We already understand what data we need. We need the information from the product and from supplier and from the country attribute and from the price information, and we have data value which is 20. So what is the final information we want to output? We want to output the product, right? So when we build our subquery, we build our subquery structure first. Then we fill out the missing part. So basically, the what information we need here, we need the product information. This is a table we need. This is the information we want. But we do not want to display all the product. We only need the product supplied by UK and with the price which is greater than 20. The price is already inside this product table. So we can limit that price directly, say where price is greater than 20. And we want to make sure the product is supplied by the UK supplier. But we do not have the UK supplier's name here, but we have supplier ID. That's why we're going to limit, say, by supplier ID. So supplier ID in this subquery. So inside subquery, we're going to try to find out we're going to try to find out what are those supplier ID is for UK supplier, right? So we're going to say select the supplier IDs from the supplier table where country equal to UK. So if we run this query separately here, you will get the error. Because why? Because there's a typo, right? So we have to fix the typo. So it's supplier, like this. So in this case, you'll get a supplier ID only for the supplier from the UK, right? So right now we got the supplier ID list. We just copy this back, and then of course make sure we are not going to use this one with a typo. So we're going to replace this X with a subquery. Then we're getting this exactly the same results, right? Now we just copy this statement back to this worksheet, and and the results to the worksheet as well. But make sure you know that, see here, we get different results here. Even we have the same result for the first part, that's because we're using a subquery. We only can get information from our top level table, which is the products. So we have all information from our product table. But in the join can access information from all the table joined together. So basically they have information from the product table and they have information from the suppliers table. Okay, so that's it for this video.